In nature, survival is never guaranteed. Every day challenges instinct, patience, and the ability to judge the perfect timing. Strength can help an animal fight back, but strength alone is never enough. To survive, they must observe closely, maintain distance read, and understand the signs and act before the opportunity slips away. The smallest mistake can tilt the balance and change everything. Amid the vast plains, an individual lion might not be the fastest creature. But when the entire pride acts together, they become an incredibly efficient force. The heart of a lion pride is not the males, but the group of females that remain bonded for life. They together protect the territory, raise the cubs, and maintain the stability of the entire pride. Meanwhile, the males continuously replace one another through fierce power struggles. It is that exact bond that creates the foundation for one of the most effective cooperative hunting strategies in the animal kingdom. Weighing up to 400 pounds, a lioness is not built for long-distance chases. To compensate for that limitation, they rely on a hunting formation practiced since youth. Some individuals flank to block escape routes, while the central group conceals itself, waiting for the prey to be driven into the exact position. This is a blueprint sharpened over thousands of generations. But even that strategy is constantly tested by large-scale defense systems. The wildebeest migration is a massive variable on the savanna. Their greatest advantage lies not only in endurance, but also in synchronized birthing. Within just a few weeks, hundreds of thousands of calves are born, creating a wave of life that overwhelms the predator's capacity to control. But on the open plains, life cannot afford delays. Immediately after birth, a calf must stand up, walk, and keep pace with the herd. Even so, numbers are not an absolute shield. When the herd enters dense vegetation, the advantage begins to tilt toward the ambushes. Despite being able to reach speeds of 45 miles per hour, a lioness will exhaust her energy after just over 600 feet. Therefore, tall grass beds are a strict requirement, obscuring the opponent's vision and multiplying the probability of success fourfold. As the flanking group spreads panic, the wildebeest herd instantly breaks formation, scattering wildly and charging straight into the waiting path of the ambushers. In just a few moments, the target is separated from the herd, tackled, and decisively subdued. However, the nutrition from each hunt does not belong to any single individual. The pride operates on a collective rearing mechanism. Lionesses may nurse any cub in the pride, even if they share no direct lineage. Here, individual boundaries blur before a greater goal, sustaining the life of the entire pride. Instead of relying on numbers, some apex organisms seek safety through anonymity. By mastering absolute stillness, this solitary individual transforms invisibility into its core advantage. The leopard lives alone, marking its territory with urine and claw scratches on tree bark. A male dominates vast areas that overlap the territories of several females, yet they almost never meet face to face, except during the brief but intense mating season. Its rosette-spotted coat helps it blend into the shifting light and shadows of the forest, while its footsteps emit almost no sound. Combined with an exceptionally strong neck and shoulders, the leopard becomes one of nature's most effective ambushers. Despite having a hunting success rate of up to 38%, the leopard's reward always comes with great risk. The struggles of the prey can quickly expose its location, drawing in the rulers of the ground. With just a moment of hesitation, it could lose the prize it just won. Recognizing that danger, the leopard immediately acts with absolute urgency. Concealed high above the leopard, waits in silence. With just a single moment of let-down alertness from the prey, a plunge from the tree will end the hunt almost instantly. But instead of eating immediately, the leopard straightaway drags its trophy up into the tree. The superior strength in its neck and shoulders allows it to lift prey, weighing up to 5 times its own body weight, to a safe height. This is how this big cat protects its kill from competitors below. Existing as an independent entity demands absolute self-reliance. While other species depend on the strength of a pack, the evolutionary system has proven that exploiting three-dimensional space and maintaining stealth offers an incredibly sustainable trajectory for survival. Sharing the same environment, each organism chooses its own distinct equation to survive. On the African savanna, very few species cause lions to think twice before attacking. The African elephant is one of them. But when a calf falls behind the herd, everything can change. On the vast grasslands of Africa, elephants are the largest land animals in existence. An adult male elephant can weigh over 13,000 pounds. Even adult females typically weigh several times more than a lion. Under the daylight, where visibility stretches for miles, approaching an elephant herd without being detected is nearly impossible. Here, size creates a zone of safety that very few other species possess. The elephant's most important weapon is not its tusks. It is power combined with pack structure. Adult elephants always keep the calves in the center of the formation. When danger is sensed, the entire herd can gather into a massive defensive block. A single charge or stomp from an adult elephant can cause severe injuries to any predator. Like a living wall built from tons of muscle. But in nature, no advantage is absolute. Lions are the only big cats that hunt in prides. They do not target healthy adult elephants. Instead, they look for opportunities. Although lions can accelerate powerfully over short distances, they cannot maintain pressure for long against a herd of adult elephants. Just a single error in the angle of approach can turn the hunt around, as the multi-ton mass of the elephants poses too great a risk for any predator. Therefore, the lion pride does not target the strength of the herd, but looks for weaknesses at the edge of the formation, young individuals unable to fully defend themselves. As the group of lions moves parallel and applies pressure from multiple directions, the elephant herd immediately closes the gaps. The calf is pushed into the center, while the adults form a living wall facing outward. In just a few moments, the opportunity to approach is locked down. An adult elephant steps forward, forcing the lion pride to back away. Today, the hunt does not end in a clash. It ends in formation. A healthy elephant herd has virtually no natural enemies. But their greatest pressures today do not come from lions. Habitat loss, conflict with humans, and poaching are depleting many elephant populations across Africa. Lions can wait for an opportunity. But the changes of the modern world don't wait for any species. And even the largest creatures on land are no exception to that rule. On the African savanna, the most successful predator is not the lion or the leopard. It is the African wild dog. A much smaller predator, yet possessing a success rate of up to 80% that most other competitors can hardly match. On the vast grasslands of Africa, where distances can stretch for miles, and there are very few places to hide, many predators rely on ambushes. But African wild dogs choose a different strategy. They hunt in the open space, not relying on surprise, but relying on coordination. The African wild dog's most important weapon is not strength. It is the ability to coordinate as a pack. A pack usually consists of 6 to 20 individuals moving, hunting, and protecting one another like a family. The pups are cared for by the entire pack. Old, weak, or injured individuals are also shared food instead of being left behind. It is that exact bond that transforms them into one of the most efficient hunters on the savanna. Their scientific name is Lycaon pictus, meaning painted wolf, as no two individuals carry the same pattern on their coat. In nature, no advantage is absolute. The prey of African wild dogs is typically antelope, young wildebeest, or impala. They are fast, durable, and only need to maintain distance to escape the pursuit. But the risk does not stop at the hunt. Lions and hyenas can appear at any moment to steal the prize. Therefore, wild dogs not only need to coordinate well to bring down the prey, but they must also finish the meal before the stronger competitors arrive. Unlike lions or leopards, wild dogs do not wait for the prey to approach. They begin the hunt with a long-distance pursuit. With speeds ranging from 37 to 43 miles per hour, pack members take turns leading to conserve energy. The goal is not to overtake the prey immediately. It is to exhaust it. With every passing minute, the advantage gradually shifts from speed to endurance. As the prey begins to lose its rhythm, the pack closes the gap. The hunt ends swiftly. Before each hunt, the wild dog pack often performs a unique behavior. They sneeze. Studies show that these sneezes can act as a voting signal for consensus before the entire pack sets off. It is a rare example of collective decision-making in the animal kingdom. Today, the African wild dog is classified as endangered by the IUCN. Only about 6,600 individuals remain in the wild. And as the grasslands continue to be fragmented, one of Africa's most effective hunting strategies is also gradually becoming more fragile. In the Congo rainforest, light is a luxury. Every small sound can be food, a signal, or danger. Here, life is not decided by strength alone. It is decided by the ability to move through the shadows, keep in touch, and never get separated from the troop. The mandrill's most important weapon is its numbers. A troop can exceed 600 individuals, making this the largest monkey species among the Old World primates. An adult male can weigh between 70 and 119 pounds, nearly 3 times more than a female. But what makes them unmistakable is the face. Cobalt blue on both sides of the snout, a bright red stripe down the middle pink lips, and a pale yellow beard. That is not a decoration. That is the language of power. The more vibrant the colors, the healthier, more dominant and more valuable that individual is within the troop. But in nature, no advantage is absolute. When hundreds of bodies move at the same time, they create a wall of sound that spreads for hundreds of feet in every direction. That chaos helps the mandrills find food amid the vast forest. But it also unintentionally exposes the location of the entire troop. Where there is prey, there are always predators watching. They patiently conceal themselves and wait for an opportunity to appear. In a mandrill, troop safety does not come from a single individual. It comes from the entire group. When danger appears, the young are kept close to the center. The adults hold positions on the outside. No need for a complex plan. Just by reacting together, the entire troop gains another chance at survival. On the African savanna, each species exists thanks to its own strategy. Lions rely on cooperation. Wildebeests rely on numbers, speed, and migrations. Leopards live by silence. African elephants protect their young with collective power. African wild dogs turn their bond into a weapon of survival. But all of this only matters when the environment remains large enough, with enough water, and safe enough. When grasslands are fragmented, migration routes are blocked, forests thin out, and conflicts with humans rise, nature loses the space it needs to operate. Predators no longer have enough territory. Prey no longer have enough room to run. Massive herds shrink and wild families are pushed to the edge of survival. Protecting nature means preserving the balance that has sustained this continent for millions of years. If the environment disappears, even the most powerful instincts will be left as nothing more than a memory.